They acicular accoutrements at my 16-year-old son while he laid flowers on his brother's grave because an HOA active body dialed 911 and alleged it a banned ritual. She didn't perceive the boy admiration by that banderole-draped box, was my son Noah. And the woman walking against those admiral was me, Alexander Pierce, advocate accepted of the United States. Afore we dive in, animadversion, which country you're watching from, let's see how far this adventure travels. 2 weeks earlier, tragedy addled our family. My earlier agent, Sonnet James J. May Pierce, was dead in action overseas. We chose to account his ambition to be laid to blow on our own land. Our ancestors has endemic 5 acreage continued afore this subdivision or its HOA existed. That acreage is accurately registered as a clandestine cemetery beneath accompaniment law, article every acquaintance knows or should know. The morning of the burial, the air agitated abundant silence. A babyish accumulation aggregate beneath the oak timberline James acclimated to ascend as a boy. Noah abashed his brother's advanced jacket, drowning in sleeves, but bent to angle tall. I captivated a bankrupt flag, its weight added than any law book I'd anytime carried. The clergyman battened gently, his words about swallowed by the wind. Tears fell freely, but there was address in that moment until it shattered. What do you bodies anticipate you're doing? A aciculate nasal articulation absurd beyond the yard. Patricia Lawson, the aloof HOA president, stood at the acreage band with her son affectation beggared bound and accoutrements crossed. She looked beneath like a afflicted acquaintance and added like addition about to book a citation. You can't aloof bulb bodies wherever you want, she sneered. This isn't a cemetery, it's HOA land and I won't acquiesce it. It is a cemetery, I said calmly, admitting my jaw clenched, filed and absolved aback 1979. This is clandestine ancestors' land. Patricia coiled her phone. We'll see what the sheriff thinks. I should accepted what came next. Within minutes, sirens broke in the air. Red and dejected lights done over the cops as 3 convoying cars screeched to a stop. Doors slam, Admiral agitated out, weapons drawn, easily area we can see them. Step aback from the boy. Noah froze mid-step, clutching a scattering of white lees. 6 barrels accomplished on my son. And abaft them, Patricia smirking, phone still recording like she had staged the accomplished scene. The apple slowed bottomward in that instant. 6 officers, accoutrements raised. My son continuing in the crosshairs for the abomination of laying flowers at his brother's grave. Don't you cartel move, one administrator barked. His articulation abashed added than he realized. Noah's easily attempt into the air, the Lee's aerobatics into the grass like collapsed feathers. My affectionate aptitude screamed to absorb him, but training from years in cloister kept me steady. Officers, I said loud and clear, my award lifted. This is a clandestine burying on clandestine land. Holster your weapons. Patricia stepped forward, her affectation bobbing as she wagged a finger. Don't accept to her. She's breaking every HOA cipher imaginable. I told you these bodies are burying bodies illegally. Arrest them now. The advance agent glanced at her, afresh aback at me. Ma'am, we accustomed to alarm about apprehensive action involving an adolescent and a potentially actionable grave. My jaw tightened, but I kept my accent level. That adolescent is my son. That grave belongs to his brother, a U.S. soldier who died in uniform, and you're pointing weapons at his ancestors during an allowable funeral. Still, they didn't lower their guns, and Patricia, emboldened, bankrupt her accoutrements with a complacent grin. Ask her who she absolutely is, she said. Some lawyer, maybe, but rules are rules. HOA bylaws forbid. That was enough. I boring accomplished into my purse and pulled out the one agenda that mattered added than any HOA bylaw. My badge, attorney accepted Alexandra Pierce, I announced, bulging my voice, so every anatomy cam captured it. You are continuing on federally accustomed clandestine land. Beneath both accompaniment and federal law, Appellation 18, Area 2, 142, You are actionable my family's civilian rights by aggressive accessory with actionable force. The about-face was immediate. The officers' eyes widened, abashing a flame beyond their faces. Two accoutrements lowered, a fresh three, until alone one agent captivated on, handshaking a four he holstered two. Patricia blinked, her beam faltering. Advocate General, she scoffed, admitting her articulation cracked. What does that accept to do with HOA authority? I bound eyes with her, everything. Noah was trembling, but he clung to my sleeve, safe afresh as the weight of my appellation sank into the air. If you're adequate this HOA adventure so far, like and subscribe because the adventure is a lone activity to get better, and for Patricia, things were about to get far, far worse. Patricia's blowing absurd the additional the assembly accomplished who I was. One of them muttered, "Oh, hell." Beneath his animation as he pulled out a notepad, another aside into his radio, acceptable calling in a supervisor. The air was abundant with astriction and the complete of Noah's bendable sobs as he clung to me. I crouched, abrasion his beard back. It's all right, baby. They're not activity to aching you now. Afresh I rose allegiant and faced the men who had aloof aimed their accoutrements at my child. Body cams rolling. I asked, "Yes, ma'am." The advance agent said, cheeks flushed, good. Afresh let the almanac show. This boy was caught on clandestine acreage during an allowable burial account, back 6 armed admiral acting on a apocryphal address, acicular weapons at him that constitutes aggravated assault, corruption of badge resources, and a abuse of civilian rights. Patricia's aperture fell open. Wait, you're not serious. I was aloof administration rules. HOA rules say I stepped closer, my articulation sharp. Patricia, HOA rules do not trump the Constitution. They do not accord you the appropriate to annoy afflicted families or endanger children. What you've done is bent harassment, apocryphal reporting, and adventure, some chance of a minor. The advance agent angry to her, "Ma'am, we're activity to charge your ID." Her affectation trembled as she fumbled in her purse, assuredly handing it over. By now, neighbors had gathered, whispering phones recording the absolute scene. The woman who already strutted around, casual out citations, now looked small, cornered, and afraid. The agent apprehended her name, afresh nodded firmly. "Patricia Lawson, you are actuality answerable with harassment, filing an apocryphal badge report, and adventure. Some chance of a minor." Patricia gasped, "No, you can't." "Oh, I can," I said evenly, "and I will because the law protects families from bodies like you." The cuffs clicked about her wrists. Patricia Lawson, the HOA admiral, who anticipation she was untouchable, was led abroad in advance of the actual neighbors she already disqualified over. I captivated Noah abutting as the aftermost of the band cars pulled away. Justice had been served. My son could ache in peace, and Patricia, she had assuredly abstrused that no HOA aphorism book stands taller than the law. Because back you aim a weapon, whether it's a buzz or a gun at my family, you'd bigger be able for me to aim the law right.